you're always kind of finding yourself.
Great, Jeremy. Thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Speaking today with Jeremy Ray Taylor, one of the stars of This Too Shall Pass, which, if you have not seen, is easily a film you can fall in love with. It is just so much fun, Jeremy.
Absolutely.
If you haven't seen it, This Too Shall Pass is the story of Simon, a young man who takes off to Canada, the wilds of Canada,
Yeah.
crosses the border with a group of friends to chase after a girl that has stolen his heart. And of course, it is just unravels from there. But Jeremy, what excited you to get into into the film?
What didn't excite me? It was kind of a little bit of everything. I've never really played a role like this. I'm kind of the fun, alcoholic, drug, bad influence in this one, and I've never really done that before. So that was a lot of fun. Um, I love Canada, so it was definitely no problem for me to come down there and do it. And it's an amazing project. I feel like it follows some really amazing themes, and it crosses a couple boundaries and talks about things that I feel like need to be talked about. And I think it's a beautiful film.
It's so funny and openly, openly expresses a love for John Hughes movies, which I know you weren't here for,
Sure.
but continue to have an impact.
The best we can, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I was wondering, in your mind, what's the impact of John Hughes? What like was this? Were you familiar with a lot of his films before you got into this, or?
Yeah, I think it's less of me being familiar with his films and more about the fact that he had an impact, even though I wasn't aware of his movies. Which I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that, but I'm super uncultured when it comes to movies, which is terrible because that's literally what I do. Music I've got, video games I've got, but man, when it comes to movies, I somehow just don't know my stuff. Um, but every single reference in the movie I understood without ever seeing them because everyone knows. So there's absolutely an impact there. And I mean, I think yeah, it's just that. Like it's exactly what our movie had. It was giving you the optimism of youth, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, there's something about his style from, I mean, oh man, I guess it's 40 years ago now at this point, but like that sort of hit that optimism of youth, but also wasn't unrealistic
Sure.
in its approach. And
And yet never really ended up, I mean, we talk about this in the movie a lot, never really ended up super great anyway. I mean, all of them, like it was real. It was real and they were a lot of fun. It was telling real stories in dramatic ways.
yeah, yeah, for sure, absolutely. I would love to. I know that I think it's Simon that says it, but as you guys are sort of at that crossroads in the film, there's a comment made about, I'm a teenager, I'm allowed to be unrealistic.
Hmm.
And I would love to know what you think of that. I mean, you're through your teenage years, but what does that mean to you?
So I've always grown up being an optimist. I was a kid from a very small town. I'm from East Tennessee. Nobody makes it out of here, if you will. And I did somehow, right? And so, like, my whole entire life, it's always been be unrealistic because it will work. And as a person who was in a position that shouldn't have, it did. And so I absolutely believe that you're allowed to be unrealistic because what's the point if we're not? Or what's the point if we are realistic? I guess is the question. Um, so yeah, that means everything to me. I mean, that's always been and maybe I dream a little too much, but I think that's kind of the point, right? That's the whole unrealistic thing. Um, but I think always shoot above.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, that's always been kind of my motto.
Well, I think that's fair, and I think that's great. And it's interesting because, like we said, we were talking about John Hughes, and we're talking about these characters, and I know that there's that sort of break, and I thought there's this comment of, it's a movie, of course it's unrealistic. Like we hold these films up,
Right.
and I know you said that you're not like there's a lot of movies that you've missed, and so have I. Don't tell anyone. But the idea that we look to them to tell us about our lives, but they're also unrealistic at the same time. Like, do you think that that's a problem, or is that just the nature of stories?
I think that's the nature of stories. I mean, I think that there's two lanes that a movie can take, right? And one's realistic and one's unrealistic.
Right.
And that's kind of what our film is showing, right? Is like this this was a John Hughes movie, but it just didn't go right. It didn't go the way that they thought it was going to. And so that's kind of the thing, right? There's just the two different ways to tell the story, and we as human beings have to thread the needle between realistic and unrealistic. And we have to be real with ourselves, but also be optimistic about everything and shoot where we want to shoot. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think that even though that, storytelling can give you this unrealistic idea of what your life can be, I think it's very important. Um, because if he can do it, we can do it, kind of thing. Even if it's just a movie and crazy things happen in real life, why wouldn't it be your individual story that happens to be that one?
Mm. Do you have a film that for you gives you that sense of optimism that sort of inspires that inside you?
A little bit. I think this is a cheesy answer, but I think like kind of my own stuff has always done that for me, right? And obviously before I had ever made it, and I've been acting since I was 8 years old, and I got my first big role at like 13. So I had some things that were inspiring me at that point, but after making it, it was like, man, this is like seeing your old work and continuing to try and achieve that and always aim higher. Um, Ford versus Ferrari has always been a really big movie that I've loved. I don't know if it necessarily is like a super. It is an inspirational movie. Obviously, it's an amazing story, but it's not like a normal like underdog story, I guess. But it kind of is. So that's kind of always been one that I go back to. I'm not a big movie rewatcher, so if I rewatch a movie, it must be pretty freaking good. I'm always kind of a watch one thing and stew on it for a while. Uh, but yeah, my own work, and then Ford versus Ferrari, and F1 too. And I'm a big car enthusiast, but I found
You
these
say
movies
you're a
before I was
racing guy
even.
then, is that what I mean?
Yeah, this is my racing sim back here that I play on all the time. But yeah, so like I'm a huge racing guy, but something about those stories because Ford versus Ferrari was before I was ever even into cars,
Hmm.
and I don't that kind of story just worked for me. So
Well, I was just rewatching F1. I've seen Ford versus Ferrari, but it's been a while, but I mean, it's just
yeah,
rewatching F1 with my teenager,
hmm
and he's connecting with it. Like there's something about a story like that. And
yeah,
it's weird to say this, but Sonny is a bit of an underdog
yeah,
himself, even though he's an overdog. I don't know.
sure, sure,
you know. But yeah, I know there's something that we connect about these stories about broken people who are just trying to get to the next level. And I think, and
yeah,
that's what happens with This Too Shall Pass. That's a teenage story in a middle-aged man's body
right,
in a lot of ways.
yeah, 100%,
I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about shooting in Canada.
yeah.
That's so what was that? I mean, had you been across the board up north of the border before, or what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, so I filmed in Canada a couple times. This was my first time in Alberta, Calgary. Uh, Beautiful place, absolutely beautiful place. We went up to Banff for a while. That was absolutely freaking incredible. My wife wants to go back up there all the time. But yeah, we had filmed it in Toronto. We had filmed Are You Afraid of the Dark in Vancouver, both of which beautiful places. I love Toronto. Uh, One of my favorite places on the planet, if we're being honest. So yeah, I love Canada. I miss poutine every day of my life. We don't have it where I'm from, so it kills me. I think about it every morning. But yeah, poutine is literally my that's what I live for. So I love that, and yeah, I love Canada, and you guys have great beer as well. So
Thank you. That would
yeah,
that'll play a long way, actually, I think.
good, good.
Canada will embrace you if you between that and
Good.
poutine, you're golden.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a great time up there.
It's funny. I have a friend who lives in Kentucky, and it's like, she had heard of poutine, but I sent her a proper recipe, and
Yeah,
it sort of blew her mind, which is funny because
yeah,
for us, it's just like, yeah, it's gravy and fries and cheese, but
right.
um,
But
no,
it
I
works so
appreciate
well. I don't know. It's like you'd think it would be an American thing because it's fries and you throw gravy on it and cheese. Like it's very, we put cheese and gravy on everything, but not brown gravy. So that the first time I heard of it, I thought it was like classic Southern white gravy. I was like, that doesn't sound great, if I'm being honest. And then I tried it and was like, oh, this is interesting. And then I basically, that's all I ate the entire time I was there. So
Love that. Love that.
yeah,
I would love to get your thoughts on the idea of breaking free. Because certainly Simon's character is struggling with a home that's very intensely conservative, and
sure.
all of these characters are bringing their baggage for sure, but his
Yeah,
is sort of the main thrust.
100%.
And I wonder, in your mind, what do you think it takes to sort of through to find yourself when you're a teen?
That's a really tough question. Because I think that's something you're always doing your entire life.
Hmm.
Um, I'm only 22, so I guess I can't attest to that, but I'm still finding myself constantly. And I mean, even right now, I've been going through kind of a dry spout of acting, and it's been a couple of years since I've worked consistently, and I've got something really exciting coming up soon. But it was a time where priorities are changing. I got married, we got a house, and that completely flips everything. And so like you're always kind of finding yourself. And I don't think that there's like a clear answer. I think it's a tuck your head and learn about yourself and try and figure out everything that you can. Shut your mouth and open your ears is a big one. Listen to people and try and surround yourself with people who are better than you because you don't want to be the best in the room. Sure, it might feel cool, but you're not learning anything. So keep trying to learn. Listen to everything that you can and attain as much information as possible, and then try and use it in the way that you feel best.
I love that. I love that. I think that that's so true. And I think, and I'll tell you right now, it is true. You're always learning it along the way.
That's the
Um,
fun part, though. That's the fun part.
yeah, it can be. It can be. It can also be hard. It can be hard,
Very,
but
yeah,
absolutely, it can be fun too.
yeah,
You're not the same person at 40 that you are at 20, and thankfully, you're not the same person at 20 than you are at 10 or any other age. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's constantly moving.
absolutely.
Having said that, I'll ask you this: the film talks about the dare to be great moment. Do you have a dare to be great moment?
Oh man, I wish that I could say that I do. I don't think that there's any like specific point of my life where that changed, which I think can also be a little bit inspiring. I mean, I am where I'm at, and I have never had that kind of thing. So don't expect it. You know what I mean? Don't feel like you didn't live your teenage years if you didn't have one of those, because I feel very fulfilled and never had something like that. Um, no, I think it was just like a culmination of everything. And you just kind of sit back and realize that you've got tiny dare to be great moments throughout your entire life. Uh, and obviously, people have one big moment, but don't expect that. That's all right. If you don't have that, that's fine. And at some point, you're gonna sit down in your bed. You'll be like, man, I've had a lot of those. Just you don't realize them in the moment, and they're much smaller than you'd think, and they have created and carved this path that I've basically went down, and now I am who I am.
I love that. That's great. Yeah. I think you're right. I think sometimes we can put an emphasis too much on the big thing, but those small moments they matter as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, Honestly, Jeremy, the film is just it's so much fun, and like I said, there's an innocence to it, and yet an honesty that I think really plays well. It's very funny.
Yeah.
But what do you hope people take away from This Too Shall Pass?
That's a good question. I feel like I'm dodging you a lot here, so I apologize if
Oh,
I'm not
hey,
giving you
hey, man.
direct answers, but I feel like people are gonna take from it what they need to take from it. Like you said, like every single person has different kinds of baggage, and I hope that this film kind of caters to every single experience, which is obviously impossible, but I think there's something for everyone. And like I said, shut your mouth and open your ears kind of thing, and learn what you can learn and take from these characters' experiences because this is a very real movie, I feel like, and it tells a story pretty well. Obviously, there's dramatic things, but we get slapped in the face pretty hard, figuratively and literally. Uh, and I think that's important that's seen. And life isn't always a movie. Sometimes it is. but don't feel ashamed either way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Honestly, I really appreciate it. Jeremy, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
The
you.
film's a joy, and it's a great chance. I really appreciate the chance to chat with you about it. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you so much. Likewise.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks.